Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signer. We are wrapping up, but a caller came in. Megan, thank you for dropping this. I'm here with Louis Lecca of Nerd Report. And I've been watching this, and I needed to clip this for the weekend because if you missed this, you don't want to miss this one. Guys, I'm moving on. I'm trying to, I think this case is over, Louis. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like clearly he didn't fake the dental records, guys. I think that's crazy to me. But my goodness, this lawyer, Stephen Bertolino, my cousin Vinny, he's out there. Why won't he just stop talking? Why does he keep going out there trying to defend things when you don't go talk until you're ready to talk? And right now, he should have just put a statement out. The fact he's been doing all these interviews now that Brian is dead is very telling to me. And it makes it seem like the Laundries are asking him, I want these people to stop telling us these crazy conspiracy theories. You told us to shut up and they won't stop. And so now he's out there trying to do damage control for them. But what he just did, what he just said, thanks, I don't know who this is, Tom Lamas on NBC News. There's a lot in this interview that was actually a lot, but this portion right here just blew my mind. Megan called it in, but wanted me to blow about something else. But this one right here is crazy to me. Watch this.
There has been some speculation out there, and again, I understand you don't like to talk about speculation, that maybe some type of deal was cut. That they promised to cooperate with investigators to get some type of immunity. Any truth to that?
Look at that sigh! I've never seen him that quiet. He had to pause. He had to reevaluate. His whole brain went. I've never seen this guy do it like that. Usually he's either just pissed or goes to his neck. He has the lawyer. He had to be very careful how he answered, and he took so damn long. And look,
I can tell you no, there's no truth to that. What I can tell you is that conversations were had several weeks ago with the FBI with respect to certain charges. When questioned and when communications were had between myself and the FBI, I think it was realized that charges were not appropriate. There was never a threat. There was never a coercion. There was never a deal cut. But
we're talking about misdemeanor charges?
Would not have been...
Steve, misdemeanor or felony charges?
I don't know what level of crime or charge was in the mix. What I can tell you is...
bullshit! Yes, you do, you liar! And now you're not even good at lying. You can't even, look at him and look at the smirk on this guy, Tom Lamas. Oh, he's like, yep, okay, cool. All right, and he's just putting him against the wall. This lawyer sucks. Laundries. Fire your friend and get a better lawyer tomorrow and throw this guy under the bus. It's the only move you got left at this point. This guy is digging you a bigger bunker hole than you even had in the beginning.
There were conversations that were had, and I definitely want to be clear. There was no threat. There was no coercion.
So there was something. But there was no threat or coercion.
On behalf of the FBI, there was no deals. There were certainly conversations, as one would expect happens in every criminal case. You always have conversations with the prosecutors about how the case may play out, as to what may be on the table, so to speak. Yes, those conversations were had, but no deal was cut. The Laundries have been cooperating with
You weren't cooperating. You were talking about what do we got here? What are the options? What are you going to tell? They clearly were holding the body. They clearly knew where it was. And now I mean, come on. This isn't a conspiracy theory now. There were clearly negotiations, and now I don't even trust the FBI or the feds, the police, because they clearly were like, all right, let's go do this thing. And the lawyer could easily be lying. Oh, yeah, they wanted to go out tomorrow once the thing is open. I bet you, Louis, that park opened because a deal was made to go find the remains that day of the park, or they weren't going to get a deal. The odds of that, I bet you, are not conspiratorial. This is something I think now insanely possible.
Law enforcement, both locally and federally, since day one with respect to Brian.
And explain to our viewers.
The Gabby Petito case.
Yeah. If you can explain to our viewers, because we've heard from so many people over the last several weeks on this case, but we've never heard from the Laundries, and there's a reason for that, correct?
Absolutely, and I've said several times, I said it over a month ago, the reason you haven't heard from the Laundries is because I told them not to talk to anybody. I've taken the heat on that, I've accepted the heat on that, and as I've said, even...
Heat, so he's acknowledging it was bad. You catch that? You don't take the heat on that, which he means that he's implying guilt. Like, yeah, no, we shouldn't have done it. Yeah, that was a bad move. I got to take the heat. I gotta take the bullet on. He's saying it, so that implies the Laundries are pissed at him or something. We're all pissed at him clearly, but he's acknowledging that wasn't. He's usually sometimes he's like, "What's the first? It's our rights." Blah 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 blah. Now he's like, "Well, yeah, I got to take the heat. I got to take it because I know that wasn't the right choice."
And last night, as you know, any attorney, any defense attorney, and anybody who went to law school will tell you the same thing. You do not talk under any circumstances. And
no, that's stupid. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but sometimes you got to talk.
Any pundit who goes on TV and says, "Oh, I have a law degree and this is immoral and unethical," you know what? You are wrong. This is the job and the role of a defense attorney. You tell your client, do not talk to law enforcement.
Because they did a crime. Like, this dude's like a moron. Like, they look more and more guilty the more he talks. This is crazy.
Period. End of story.
Did your clients know their son, Brian Laundrie, was going to disappear when he left the house that day?
No, they did not. What I can tell you is that Brian was very upset when he left, and Chris conveyed to me several times that, he wished he didn't let him go, but he couldn't stop him. So this has been a painful saga for them since September 13th. It's been a long haul. But Brian is a grown man, young man, 22 years old. He wanted to walk out the door. He was entitled to walk out the door.
Again, so implying, he's going to make up his own decision. He's going on the run. Is that what that implies, Lewis? I mean, sorry, I wanted to hear more of this, but we can stop it there. Lewis, am I going crazy? Some people in the chat think I'm crazy. Other people are loving it. To me, this is some of the most damning stuff he said. Yes, this just opens up so much more Pandora's box of, did they make a deal? Well, yeah, there were discussions for a deal, blah, 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 blah. Why is he saying that out loud, Lewis?
Well, first of all, he's doing the runs, right? With the press, doing the press tour, talking at you. Remember I said about press conferences where like the PR moves and stuff? It's kind of weird that he's not ready to be asked these tough questions with his face expressions and all that. A little bit strange.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. This is all babble. He's trying to damage control in full effect. He should take his own advice and stay quiet because the more he talks, he's sounding more silly. And another thing I got out of this is that when you sped up his voice earlier, he sounds the same. Yeah, this guy's a cartoon. So I'm shocked that he's not prepared to get asked these questions by all the facial expressions and stuff, which obviously he should have known he's going to be pulled apart or analyzed to hell.
Well, I just put
every interview he does.
I just put a poll out. Did you guys? Because we have a lot of people watching, I want to get their thoughts. The question I'm putting out there: do you think a deal was struck to find the body? Yes, no, I didn't. But the third option, I didn't, but now I do. So it's a version of yes, but it's not like yes, but I didn't think it until I just saw this interview. I want to see how much I'm going to add those as yeses, but we'll see how many of the yeses were actually changed because Bertolino's out there making things worse, I think, in my opinion. Megan, are you still on the phone, Megan? Sorry, I'll get you. But Megan, since you brought us to my attention, do you now share the same frustration of this Bertolino only causing more doubt and confusion and questions?
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to watch it, because I said there was a few things, but it started with him saying 2 families lost 2 children on September 14th. And I was like, so you knew Brian was gone on September 14th. And then I was saying, and then it just got worse, because then when he started talking about deals with the FBI, which I thought was like yesterday before I watched this, I watched it last night. I totally thought, no, they didn't make a deal with the FBI. And then I watched this and I was like, they might have made a deal with the FBI. Right.
You're right, because I was so used to him sort of always trying to compare the oh yeah, we both and to be fair, both are going through pain, but you're right. He said it. They both lost on that date, which implies they knew at that point. Well, our kid's going to be put in jail. We're going to lose our kid because we know what he did. Bertolino going out there talking is only reaffirming the story, which is such a bad way to do it. Like, take some time, mourn, put out a little press release, whatever you got to do, say something small. Like, it's just asinine. In fact, I'm going to try and get my PR friend, James Judge. I want him to come out and explain just how bad this was and what you should do in a case like this. Because especially now, even after all these mistakes, Bertolino's not a good public speaker. He's too aggressive. He's yelling at the female anchor, Marnie, who did a great job. And he's just, you don't want to be your guy who's defending yourself. You don't want to be the guy, hey, stop listening to this. We're telling you the truth. Will you stop trying to public? You don't know what you're talking about. Believe what I'm telling you. Like, that doesn't work. That's not going to make anyone believe you more. Right, Lewis?
Yeah, and also he notice how the talking points, you ran an interview earlier with the lady, I forgot her name, the one you just mentioned he yelled at. It's exact talking points. Like, there's someone on Fox making up stuff. And then he goes on here and he goes, there's someone on Fox making up stuff. And then he's going to go on CNN and go, there's someone on NBC or whatever it is making up stuff. Like, it's the same talking points. This is, so he actually, something is up. The fact that he's probably, I'm going to go ahead and think that the fact that he keeps bringing up that people are making up a couple things, those are the things that are actually real.
The irony of him calling out Fox is so funny to me too, because I still, again, speculation on my part, but
yeah,
did you make a deal with this Fox Digital person to make sure that you were being followed, so everything was being found?
He called out CNN here, though.
He did. Well, he's been calling Fox out the most. But, yeah, it's still like this guy is not helping. I don't understand who he's helping. And just we already have almost 1,000 votes on this poll just as I clip this because I want to get this out I don't know when I've posted this, but I want to make sure this was shared with you guys at a certain point. Because, look, I don't believe in the conspiracies. Lewis, you know this. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to extend this case out or whatever. It was stupid excuses that'll be out there. But this is not helping. This is so bad. He's such a bad public speaker, and he's only making me now doubt it all.
Well, one more thing. Look, if they made a deal with Fox to videotape the Laundries, maybe it's reverse psychology to go out there, put Fox down, and then no one links the deal they made for the Fox Digital video or the exclusive video, which it looks like an exclusive video. That looks like a deal as well,
Who knows anymore? I'm so confused by it all.
I'm confused. My eyes are crossed.
Them contaminating evidence and finding it right away. But again, if they made a deal, why wouldn't they have just gone in and done it? This would be such a conspiracy. Okay, we'll make a deal, but you get to find it on your own. We won't charge you because there are reasons why you'd keep that private, guys. There are. I'm not crazy. Now, it could also totally just be false, and they just found it. That is a reality. Let's be clear. But at the end of the day, 60% of you, 900 over 900 votes, 60% said yes, 19% said no, but another 22% said I didn't, but now I do. So that puts it over to 82% think that yes, a deal was made. Do you think a deal was struck to find the body? Because they needed this to be over. And they probably knew where it was, and the lawyer was able to hold that with information, be like, look, we'll tell you where the body is, or where we suspect the body is, but you're not going to do any charges, right? Guys, that stuff happens all the time. And the people who made that deal aren't going to want to tell you that because that shows their ineptitude that they couldn't crack it without them just telling you. Do you know what I mean? So, look, we should have asked Christopher that theory, and I will later. We'll get more into it. But so stay tuned. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments below. We're going to wrap up our stream here, but don't go anywhere if you're watching live. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts. We will keep you updated on everything that comes about this case and other cases. We talk about other news here too. So leave a comment down below, suggest some other stories, and stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. And live viewers, stay tuned. We're here live every weekday at 12 Eastern Standard Time here on Popcorn Planet.